Or is it popping up live immediately? It's live immediately, 100%.
We're live. No intro. We gotta get a sick intro
though. What's going on, people? Here we are again for a legendary live Q&A. Just because of the fantastic success we had with the last episode. So not so much about the views, but the amount of questions and the quality of the questions were what rocked it the last time. So my friend Nick Parks is hosting us again for today. What's going on, Nick? Tell me first, where are you? Is that a green screen you're sitting behind? You know, are you sitting behind a green screen? What's happening? What's going on over there?
I am in Linville, North Carolina, up here in the mountains on vacation with my family. This is like the first year in 5 years, man, since my oldest daughter was born, that I've actually managed to sneak away and come on vacation with the family. But, you know, I've been working probably half days, something like that. So I run out there, have fun with them, run back, get some work done. But a live stream, man, that's not work. This is fun. This is what I really enjoy.
I would say. But still, the fact that you have your first vacation in 5 years says a lot, man. My God.
Yeah, I mean, well, meaning like I'm here for the full time of it. So like normally what I would do is they'd come and then I'd come at like on the weekend when, you know, the shop's closed. So like this is the first year I've been able to like, all right, I'm gonna go down the same day as you guys and leave it the same day and be here for the full thing. So it is very exciting. But yeah, it is hard work, man. Entrepreneurship is not easy. So
but I'll tell you that for sure. My God, my life is a lot more easier if you can count it like that. Vacation is the Netherlands, and everywhere else is work.
Yeah, I don't know, man. You are a hard worker. you're on the move 24/7, bro. So
yeah, but I don't have a life. You know, single. You know, this is my life. The detailing, the Labocosmetica. This is the one I like the most. This is. So it's not much work, but it's just life.
That's it.
So what's up, people? How's it going? Let's see. Boris in the chat. Thanks for coming, man. Are you enjoying your products yet, my friend? Because I'm very curious. I hope Colma 4222 is bought from Slovenia that won the Cox box from. I don't know which episode it was from a live stream at the House of Rags. And when I did a Q&A question, and he answered the question most spectacularly, what was the correct sequence of the new 3pH? And he was word for word, he was correct by adding everything. And then he won some Cox box.
Yeah. What comes in the box? What comes in it?
This was a custom box. He said, I want some products. And I said some suggestions. He said, hey, man, what he would like it to have, and he added some products, and then he was thinking, hey, if I already have this product, can I have this product? And then he was thinking about some protective products, so I added another product, but basically, I don't know if it for sure, but I think it was Omnia, Primus, Beneficia, Sidero, something. So I contacted the Slovenian dealer, asked him already if he was a customer. He was, so just to verify everything was okay. Then I just ordered the products on his website, paid for it myself without doing the discount and asking the importer to ship it out and then make a credit. No, I just paid it for myself because this was a unique moment to immediately do this. And then, okay, so it's okay to spend a little bit more because at the end it's just a gift. And it would have been logistically a little bit more troubling to get it all fixed. And then MAFRA would have to do something, and they don't know about me doing a giveaway. So if I pay for it privately, everything is arranged immediately. The same I did with the box I promised Corey, the box from Korea with some collectibles, merchandising. I don't know what they put inside. It's going to be the most unique and a special Cox box. Only the one, guys. I promised the Korean guy it's only one, because don't laugh, the shipping. So the products themselves were not that expensive, but the shipping was 3 times that what the products cost.
Oh, I'm sure.
No, I got the number. He said, "Are you sure?" I said, "Yes," because promise, man. I made the promise. I'm a man of my word. So I'm gonna make this promise, and I'm gonna send that box. It's just gonna be one box for sure. That foam cannon is in there for sure. And let's say some other things that probably are not ever going to be available here or in Europe or in the United States. It's gonna be what you would say. Yeah, unique gift box for a unique guy. But he's doing a lot, so it's definitely worth it.
Nice. That's dedication.
For sure.
I wish I could win a free Reggy Cox box.
you and me, we have friends. You know, I'm gonna hook you up with some stuff that is gonna be outside of the podcast and everything. And I did the same. So I had this jacket, this jacket. There was only 3 of them were made. Jay has one from Korea, Lloyd has one, and they gave one to me last year when they came here. And then I went a couple of weeks ago. I went to Germany to see Marvin and do a little fair, a little meeting inside of Germany. And then he said, I really like that jacket. And I said, well, there are only 3 of them, so you can have it. But that's not going to fit me. And I said, just try it on, and then we'll see if it fits. And it was his birthday at the same time. So I gave him that jacket. The jacket is absolutely freaking cool. It looks like a baseball jacket, but then a little bit of the raincoat type of a fabric. And it had a special design of 2 hands holding a bottle of Purifica like this. And then it says, blessed, deliver us from dirty. It was absolutely fantastic.
That is sick. Yeah, I've got one of the MAFRA jackets. It's like very European. It looks like a motorcycle jacket or something, but I'll randomly throw that thing on at the shop, and it's pretty cool. So already got some questions rolling in.
I said, well, let's pop them up. I'm going to keep an eye on because I got also something coming from Facebook. So I'm going to make sure that I answer that one as well. Joe, thanks for the question, man. I'm very happy to answer it. So let's see what's going to pop up first. And then we'll roll down the questions one by one. I'll try to make them as short as possible because my excitement and my HDHD might get the upper hand, and I might speak a little bit more than necessary to give you the provided information about the question you just asked. Sorry. There we go again. It was already... Calm down, Reg. There we go. That's just the one. You see them too. You see this. You see this too, Nick.
I see. Are you talking about Joel's from Facebook?
Yeah, yeah.
Facebook?
Yeah. Okay. So I don't have to, because I'm not that good at multitasking. I'm sitting still.
Before you answer Joel, I'm curious. Pure Motion Detailing NC. What part of North Carolina are you in?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's your
area. Maybe he's. I'm not sure if he's still listening, but. Okay, well, there you go. 3 pH for washing and rinseless. Pure Motion, if you're near Charlotte, we got to get together, man. Oh, Raleigh. Yeah, not too far at all, man. Well, fun fact, if you buy from the Labo US website, labocosmetica.store, it will ship from Charlotte. So you will probably get next day shipping every time, even if you get the cheapest option. So. All right, man. Underwater restrictions. Yeah, we are too in Charlotte. In fact, that might not be correct. I know we were for a few weeks. So I had a lot of questions about Preludio coming through. But all right, Joel's question: how long can SAM, HPC, and TPR be stored after being opened?
Well, it's a good question. So according to a closed bottle validity terms that the Labocosmetica guarantees 2 years of unopened quality 100%, that is going to be the same as the day of production, the 2 years. But when you opened, all factors come into effect. Time, temperature, the dilution. Oh, sorry, that's a different one. But the evaporation rate, how close it is, how much oxygen is in there. So basically what I've tested it. So I did this last year or the year before. I got a bottle of STC that was opened in 2019 that was still half full, and I applied it on a car just to see what's going to happen. Now, as older the ceramic is going to get, the faster the flash is going to be. That means that if you apply it to the surface, if it's fresh and it's newly opened and it's just very, very young coating, so to say, the amount of time you can leave it on the surface before the wipe off becomes difficult is going to be very long. But it's still manageable. So depending on how long, how hot it is going to be, you can leave them for a very long time. I would always suggest, so say you finish the job and you got like 10 milliliters left, that is okay, but never ever store it like 50%. Try to calculate when you are going to need the coating and use it as immediately so you can at least guarantee the quality to your customer or to your job that you want to apply. I think that's very important. You can stretch them a very long time, but it's very difficult then to give any promises how long they are going to be staying on the surface if you bypass that with an open bottle. But it is very old. I was amazed how long we could still use it and how long I was able to use it to absolutely do it. In the meantime, I'm multitasking again. It's just not my strong point, I see. Looking at a different screen. I'm going to post up a video that I made, and that video is
So
a guide.
that was in reference to STC.
Yeah, and SAM is basically the same. So
Right.
if it didn't
Okay.
crystallize, so if you put it in light and if it didn't crystallize in the bottle after those amount of time, you can still assume that you can still apply it. The difficulty is then to prove if it's still the same coating, is it still the absolute same, or is it is it different? It's difficult to say. It's nanotechnology, and I don't want to make any promises that they are. I'm going to put here a
When you were
link.
training me, we left accidentally a bottle of HPC Pro, or maybe it was 2.0, I can't remember, one of the HPCs, open overnight because we just had an insanely long day and were forgetful and forgot to put the cap back on. The next day, you were like, "Oh, it's fine." And I was like, "What?" I would never try to do that. Like normally, because normally, like my experience has been what you said. The longer it's been exposed to air, it just becomes really annoying to install. Like it's very smeary and hard to wipe off.
Exactly. It's not going to be much more fun. It's definitely not going to be much more fun. It's going to be more difficult, but it's manageable. So in the comments, I posted I hope it's a link, but at least if you copy paste that link, it will bring you to a video of mine where I give a demonstration, basically how you can apply ceramic coating. It's the same, the one that the Nick had for a training. It's a technique that I use, that I always make sure that I have a good installation regardless of time, the temperature, the heat, the humidity, all those factors just throw out the window. And it's one of the few demonstrations where you literally have to feel and see instead of focusing on the environment. You know, if you can stabilize your environment by closing the door and humidity is not going to fluctuate that much, you can basically use this technique to get a successful installation with any ceramic coating in the world. So Pure Motion Detailing, what's up, man? Difficult 369, what's up, gentlemen? The legends are doing very well. How are you doing, Nick? Are you doing well?
I'm doing well. Not a legend, but I'm doing well.
Bora sent a message. Purifica is top notch because he gave the Cox box. Primus 2.0 replaced touchless. I will never need an interior cleaner other than Omnia in my life. That is a very nice compliment to say. And Sidero is cool, but the smell is yuck. Yes, as Eddie would say, it still smells like the devil's asshole, but it also cleans like a legend. So maybe one day we figure out how to lose the smell without losing the cleaning capability. I would really like that.
I saw, wasn't it CarPro that tried to like mask it with like lemon and something? There was like a couple of different fragrances they had, but I still felt like it just smelled bad. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the reduction. Yeah, if there's a reduction, so I believe the idea behind Sidero was that if you don't atomize it or nebulize it too strong, you don't have that tiny little droplets, and you probably have less of this smell. As more as it's like a gel, the less there's going to be flying around, and less smell will then be present, so to speak.
Okay.
Let me see. Pure Motion Detailing recently received the 3 pH for the normal washing process and the 3 pH for the rinseless washing process. Can't wait to give them a try. And we are very curious what you thought of when they are being used. I'm very always happy to listen when somebody's going to say, hey, I did 3 pH. This is my success. I like those stories very much. That's what we do it for.
Pure Motion, if you're under water restriction, the Preludio is like, in my opinion, it's the difference between actually being able to like run your business using rinseless. Now, is it ideal? I mean, obviously using the standard 3 pH is better, but without it, all the different methods in the world as far as like using just pH neutral rinseless, nothing matches Preludio. I mean, I'm obsessed with it. I think it's amazing. And all my customers who were big on rinseless, when I turned them on to it, they have not looked back. It is freaking awesome, man. We've cleaned some really dirty cars with it. Just takes a little more time. It's more tedious, but you can at least get it done. So
for sure. If you want to watch a good video about Preludio, then go to the channel of Forensic Detailing channel. John DeLo just did an amazing video explaining how simple it is to use and how not complex it is and how easily he applies it to say, okay, this is something absolutely as an addition to your existing rinseless washing.
Yeah, we need to do a better job of that, like here in the US, is explaining it better, because I think a lot of people, when it came out, this was feedback that I got from people and just comments that I saw. They're like, 3 buckets? That's that's crazy. You're overcomplicating it. It's like they think that it's 3 separate buckets, but
Yeah, it makes sense.
it's just 2 spray bottles on your bucket, and it really doesn't complicate it anymore. To be honest, it
No,
adds
and
either
you
one or two more steps depending on how much you need. You know, do you need both or just
exactly.
one?
And
So,
rarely you will need them to use them on the entire car. You will probably have some sections, so those bottles will go a long way because you will use them on
mhm.
parts. You will probably not because your rinseless is still capable of doing something. And if that
Yep.
something is just not enough, then you have at least some extra weapons hanging on the bucket that you can use at the spot at that moment.
I've had people do that with. I mean, I've done it myself, and I've also recommended it to customers with just the standard 3 pH as well, because people are so, in a good way, people want to be super thorough. But I'm like, look, man, you don't have to. You can just mix some Primus or Purifica in a sprayer or a spray bottle and treat specific areas and save
Right.
yourself a lot of time and hassle. And, uh, if there's only certain areas of the car that are affected, don't waste your
Right.
time.
True.
All right, let's see. Where was it? I lost my question here.
We got the one
Um,
from Pure Motion. Then we have the, let me see.
do you
Sometimes you
want
have,
to
I got one.
answer?
I got this one. Let me see. It's a difficult 369 question. For some time you have Primus. For some time you have Primus is unmatched. However, some Koreans are starting to make some pretty solid soaps. Do you still think Primus is unmatched? Well, I will take the example of Katiba. Katiba is our friends from Sealant, Mr. Dong Kang, a really good friend of ours, also from the brand, also from Labocosmetica. They are partially responsible for the big success we have in Korea. If you ask him if he's going to make any soaps, he's simply going to say no because we have Labocosmetica. And I'm taking that as the words from him. So I'm not going to say that Primus is the best because we say so. No, it's because he says this is going to be difficult to beat. And the other way around is that for us, it is really going to be difficult to beat their protective products. They have, they have ingredients that we simply don't have or can get or whatever, but they are capable of making fast, easy, simple to use, extremely beating products in a very record amount of time. It's unbelievable. You know, we take very big views to how they do that, and we try to implement that to our own products. So hopefully, when we launch some of the new products, I hopefully soon some of the protective products, like a Beneficia if we can, or a Cupido upgrade, or even some new product like a spray coating that has some of those potential things that those protective products from Korea also have.
This is not a knock against Korea at all, because you've had great things to say about them. Do you think some of it's possibly just because it has ingredients that don't fall in line with the Labocosmetica line, like in terms of PFAS and stuff like that,
Can't
or is
say.
it
It can't
okay?
say because their
Yeah.
their country is very strict. It's a very strict country. You
Hmm.
know about the production stuff, OEM kind of stuff, spray cans and stuff like that are all being probed
Hmm.
and tested by the government themselves. If we import or export something to Korea, the government is going to look at them individually and see if all the ingredients are correct according to
Wow.
the Korean standards. And sometimes we have to adapt to that, or sometimes we cannot sell something because it has something inside that the Koreans are not allowing to be in their market. So very difficult to say. I'm not going to make any judgment
Wow.
calls on that, but
Yeah.
based on what I know and how strict they are, I'm assuming that their engineerings are probably the best, and not so
Hmm.
much the danger of the chemicals themselves.
Yeah. I'm not an expert enough on chemistry to say. I just didn't know if there was maybe some ingredients that existed that would make things like hyper durable or feed water really well that maybe are just like not, the safest or whatever. But
For sure, for sure.
all right, next question here. How many coatings, all types, can we expect to be released this year?
I'm looking at the sky. I'm praying. I'm hoping this year at least we can show some new spray sealant, or not spray sealant. Yeah, let's say the sealant was Cupido, is Cupido, and I really hope that we can launch that new Cupido 2.0 that is going to fall in line with what we are having in the market right now. Something that is easy to apply as a quick detailer, but gives the spray sealant like the silk feeling, the beading, and the chemical protection all in one. So really a big upgrade. I hope we can show it this year. Really hope. I'm not aware of what the situation is like right now. The same goes for the spray coating. I really hope that we can get that spray coating on the market this year. I'm praying that it's going to be launched or presented in the Automechanica in September. And that's what I hope. And those two for sure, I hope, and maybe even finalize the Beneficia or something more. More following in the market right now, more forgiving, more time that you can still do a correction from a wipe off from an leaking product or a streaking product, something that streaks less or flashes faster. More upgrades of what the existing products already have.
Sounds fantastic to me. It's a good note from Colma here. Beneficia is the only wet coat that he uses that does not cause wiper chatter or interference with his glass coating. He uses pure or 1-to-1.
Oh, that's a good one. I'm gonna. I gotta write this one down because I'm gonna forget that to make sure that I put it on. There it is. Give me a sec. I'm gonna write this down because I don't want to forget. Beneficia wet coat for maintenance. See, this is the great. So I'm taking tips as well. Yeah, I can't know everything. It's a good thing that the people are doing stuff for us as well. Perfect. Got that. Thank you, Bar. Let's see.
Features of using Blindo.
The features. So adding an actual physical layer that is going to take in the normal damages, what normally would go in the clear coat. A coating that is polishable over time. Polishing in the range of Fierro on a yellow pad, maybe even a Leale on a yellow pad if it's possible. But Blindo is something there to stay. The only thing in between that needs to be switched up, that is going to degrade, is going to be the top coat. But then when you correct a Blindo or when you polish a Blindo twice as fast than normal paint. So freshening up a coating that it will still be there and adding another protective layer in the form of a top coat is the biggest benefit of Blindo.
Mm-hmm. Well said. Wow, that was a fantastic elevator pitch of Blindo. If anyone is installing Blindo and doing sales to customers, you can get it that concise. You're golden.
It's more realistic.
Lots of coating.
If they screw it up in 1 year, if they screw the coating up in 1 year, it's not a problem. The top coat will be destroyed. There will be nothing left. There will be a coating there, but it misses the hydrophobics. You polish that coating, you fresh up the car. You still don't lose any clear coat. You still have the same amount of clear coat, and you continue with the same coating. Add another top coat. More realistic than leaving a car alone for itself by 5 years. Every car is going to look like shit after that.
For sure. For sure. Shout out to Edgardo in LA. He's one of our resellers.
So this is a great story. This Peter Paul PP car detailing from the Netherlands does a lot of work for the Spyker. The Spyker is the Dutch sports car. Spyker C8 V8, a very nice sleek looking car, fantastic design from the 90s. He does a lot of work for them. He had to do something in the United States, and he asked me. He said, "You got somebody in an LA vicinity that does Labocosmetica?" And I said, "Well, sure we do." So I immediately contacted Edgardo, and he arranged everything. So I contacted Edgardo, said, "Hey man, can you assist me with some help in any form that you can?" And he took them in like they were family. He took care of them. He wanted to take them out for dinner. Everything was fantastic. Big shout out to Edgardo, Los Angeles, from Supreme Shine Supply.
That's right.
The Supreme Shine Supply, yeah. For hooking those guys up and assisting a local Labocosmetica detailer from the Netherlands with this work in the Spyker. Absolutely brilliant. Brilliant network, brilliant help, brilliant people. Fantastic. Thank you very much.
That's awesome. Gotta love to see that, the network like that. That's pretty cool. It's a small world.
Yeah, especially with the love of cars.
Those Spykers are crazy. I'm looking at them right now. That's I know at some point in my life I've seen a picture of one of these cars, but like it just didn't. I forgot about them. But these are wild.
Like it very much. Yeah, I like it too.
Huh. Is Sam a good single layer coating?
Yes, absolutely fantastic for a single layer coating. Why? Because it contains something physical. It's not like Blindo where there's pure resin inside. It's not like STC where it's a blend of glass-like substances with a chemical protection. It is that SAM. I can make lies and try to explain to you what SAM actually stands for, but it's self-assembled monolayer. Basically what comes down to it, the ingredients inside the bottle, when you put them on the suede and you waggle them around on the surface, they will build themselves up over a layer and over time. microscopic nanotechnological thickness of a layer. But the bonus is that it's still 20% physical. So it's not like a top coat that you can remove with your elbow with a little bit of grease, elbow grease, and you rub the surface. Your top coat is going to be destroyed. Sam can take a lot more of that damage, and that makes it an absolute fantastic single layer coating. Easy to install. I would
Waggle.
say, yeah, and not so much the super. So compared to HPC2, its HPC2 is actually ridiculously easy, but Sam is still really easy to apply. Gets great darkening effect, so it really makes the paint visually a lot darker. Beading is gradually improving, so day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, it's absolutely at the top max. And it's very chemical resistant, and you have good washing abrasive. And also that one is, you have to polish it thoroughly to get it off. So I'm going to count this really as a really good single layer coating.
Waggle. I'm saying that they probably need to add that to the instructions on the bottle. You waggle it around on the paint.
Yeah, it's like, so what we go to say, yeah, you know, you put it on a suede, you go like this over the paint, a little bit like this, you know, it's can make it a little interesting, but when you put it on the paint, it builds itself up to a layer. And if I always, when I do a demonstration, when I do a training, when I do coating training, you know, I'm not learning you how to apply this coating. You know how to apply a coating. I'm learning you what the differences are between every single one of them, how you can remove them if something goes wrong, and what time frame you have. And then I always put a layer of them one by one, and I let them see what it looks like when it dries up. And then I let the suede see, so they can feel the differences between the physical part. They can see the differences between the chemical protection part, the darkening effect, the bubbling, the streaking, and whatever they do, the rainbowing. So they have a lot of visual references, what they can look for when they install the coating. And Sam really, when it dries up, turns into these crystally powdery type of a substance, compared to where Blindo is just a piece of glass. And the same for STC, where it's literally, very strange to see what kind of a mixture of type of glass it is. And yeah, and the HPCs look like a rubbery membrane type of a substance that's left behind.
Very cool. Antonio, I'm about to put my email here in the comment section. Shoot me an email and we'll talk about it.
Yeah. HPC Pro for the businesses already. If you can prove you have a business, even if you are a registered business, even if you don't spend full time on a registered business, it's not a problem. But then you definitely can get your hands on HPC Pro. And if I've been saying this too much, maybe I have to be careful, because I think it's time I need to do something digital, where we just do a walk around, a Zoom call with the installation of a Blindo, and I just follow them during the Zoom call, and let's just say, tell me what you see, tell me what is happening. Maybe we can do it digitally and get some more approved detailers in the United States as well.
I agree. And I mean, maybe this isn't for a live stream, but I'll say it anyway. It's like part of to me, the Blindo Plus and the STC HPC Pro, that whole system, a lot of it too, for me, is like, do you fall into the philosophy of Labocosmetica as a system? And because there's a lot of talented coating installers in the country. I mean, you know, plenty of guys know how to do paint correction, install coatings, and a very brief call with myself or with you, we could walk them through how to do that. But perhaps this is gatekeeping it too hard. But it's, to me, part of that is, if you're selling this system to customers, are you also educating them on 3pH? Are you using the system? Like, it's not, to me, it's when it all comes together that it's a great thing. So, you know, the people who are already real in tune with Labo, that know how to install coatings, it's not that hard of a decision.
Yeah, it's really not about how to install. There's 1,000 ways to install a coating successfully. The keys of that training is to know what to do when something goes wrong, so your success rate goes up. You don't have that many mistakes. You prevent high spots, all these things that can happen, and especially the maintenance. You know, the maintenance. We have so many great coatings out there. You know, it's the amount of brands that are making great coatings, but if you see where the biggest profit lies, is in the maintenance. Is that, you know, for sure that 3pH works, and if that 3pH is not working anymore, then you can say, okay, now I'm going to top this sucker off, because now I need some extra protection because the coating is failing in certain parts. And that extends it so much that 3 shampoos can take away so many topping products, spend you so many save you so much money, so much effort, so much risks, which you're not going to take. Because we can say, okay, we made a topping product, but no brand can guarantee that that topping product can go on all existing ceramics in the market. For the first place, they are not capable of testing them all. The compatibility of a certain nanoparticle to another. We assume other than a slap on a drying aid and everything's going to go well. It leaves nothing behind. But if it leaves something behind, even not visually, you could be in trouble. You could diminish the values of the coating, and the coating will become less hydrophobic because of that drying aid or because of that topping product, giving the customer the idea that the coating is failing because they are always focusing on the visual aspect of the hydrophobics. And that's so much more. And that's that these trainings with the coating is to understand what is actually happening. You have never heard me say that the coating will last for 5 years in any training. I will always say, take your local conditions as your measurement. Take the coating, put it on something, then let it drive around to give an idea to the customer what they can expect in your region. A global promise of 1 year is 15,000 kilometers is still an average. It could be more in one country and it could be less in another. It's always from the manufacturer side, but you have to take responsibility as an installer to say, okay, I've tested this coating myself. I'm having it on my car for 2 years without any issues, and it's going with good maintenance. So I can guarantee you 2 years if you let me do the maintenance, for example. If there is no maintenance, then everything goes out the window, and there shouldn't be any warranty to give these people, because if you cannot give good maintenance, then warranty becomes something that's going to cost you even more if you have to replace it or if you have to fix it, or in worst case, you lose your customer.
I couldn't have said all of that any better. Like, I need to clip that and just send that to people, because it's not always a skill issue. It's the philosophy, it's the mindset, it's the, like, how are you selling this to your customer? What expectations are you setting? Personally, that is my number one concern when it comes to getting people into Blindo and STC HPC Pro, because
I agree.
Obviously we want people who have this product installed on their vehicle to have a good experience. We want them, it needs to be sold properly. And part of that is like how you maintain it afterwards. And look, I don't judge. Like, there are so many different ways to run a coating business. There are certain coatings that the marketing and the sales of it are not like Labocosmetica, and that's okay. There's different fits for different businesses, but to me, that's really the most important part. It's not so much, oh man, there's this mysterious process of how to install it, and the only way you can learn is if you come out here with me and learn how to do it. It's really not about that. Like, it's more about, how are you delivering this to the customer, and that's going to set the expectation and the experience that they have, whether it's positive or negative. So,
just like
Antonio,
that.
shoot me an email, man. We'll talk about it. But like Reggie mentioned, HPC Professional is available to anybody that is running a business. It is incredibly easy to install. Just like HPC 2.0, they are both very, very friendly on the installation side of things. So it's a good gateway drug as far as coatings into the Labocosmetica world. It is, man. A lot of people, it's funny. The progression is very similar, I've noticed, with a lot of the detailers who reach out. Normally, it's because they started using the products, like the maintenance products, and then they're like, ooh, I want to try one of the coatings. They're probably not interested in using a consumer grade because they're installing other pro coatings. Give them the HPC Pro. They always end up liking it. And then it's, hey, what about that Blindo thing? What about this STC? So that's normally the
what else you
sort
got?
of the progression. Yeah. It's the gateway drug, man.
Gimme.
You're in Atlanta. That's awesome. We'd love to have somebody in Atlanta for sure. All right, let's see. It's a good one.
Down. Those USA brands today. Wait, let me see. We were watching a live stream with those USA brands today. We all know who I mean. And they seem not to want to answer my questions regarding PFAS, SDS, pH. How do you feel about that? Listen, this is the philosophy. This is why we this is why we from Labocosmetica, we have no issue stating this. The reason one is we know exactly what's going on. We have set this philosophy that we wanted to be PFAS free, and we have done it, not without making a huge statement, not making everything was already PFAS free in 2019. So 3 years after the start of Labocosmetica, official start is, I believe, 2016. I will find out the actual date. But 2016 is when it started. 2019, we were PFAS free. We didn't make a global references. It's something that we just started. And it's good to see that more brands are starting to do it. And to be honest, I am always also a little bit hesitant with statements I might make. pH levels. I am not a chemist. I am by definition not the guy that is capable of giving you that amount of advice. The product itself should contain everything that can handle it safely. So even if the pH is not known, it still doesn't matter, because if the product says that you need to wear gloves, regardless of the pH level, even if it's neutral, it doesn't matter. You still have to be wearing the gloves. If the product is safe to use in direct sunlight or whatever, if it's stated by a person, it's still not guaranteed that you can take that word, even from me. I went on my face a couple of weeks ago. I made a video about gloss. I've been using an ISO type of a test, and I read the gloss wrong. So there's contact angles for gloss measurement, 20 degrees, 60 degrees, and 85 degrees. And I mixed them up. I mixed the one that you need to use for matte. I mixed it up with the one that you need to use for high gloss. The results in that video were the same, but I will still have to make a rectification. And if this man, Corey in this case, of course, who else could it be? But he made that statement and he said, you were wrong. So I went on my face and I immediately have to admit, yes, it's true. And it disproves once again that even the statements that brand ambassadors, detailers, users, that you cannot take their word and suck it and swallow it and take it, oh, this is the truth. You will always have to verify. So if a statement is being made by a manufacturer, ergo me, if I say something that a dilution like 1 to 10 is still fantastic, okay, you listen to me and said, okay, but this guy, Reggie, is being paid by the company, his salary is being paid by the company. There might be a financial benefit for him. Maybe it's a good idea to start lower. I'm going to do 1 to 20 first and move up to 1 to 10. And everybody does this. Even if they made statements PFAS and it says wear gloves and there's no PFAS inside, still wear the gloves. Don't drink. We all know that regardless of how safe these products are, we cannot drink them. It's common sense. But in some countries, it is on the bottle that you cannot drink this product. For example, Korea, I remember a brand that had it on the bottle. This is not a beverage or not a product, and keep it out of the hands of drinkers and do not drink this. Statements being made, everybody is allowed to follow their philosophy and to push their philosophy. And if everything goes well, then everything will be right. But if there one day people will retract their words or will say, hey, but you said, I read a couple of YouTubers and I read their descriptions part. And if I scroll down in that prescription, it very clearly stated their legal, how they got out of the situation. This is my personal opinion and my experience. You might have a different experience where you are at. So if you listen to the guy in the video and you say, oh, if I do this, then I get the same amount of results. But then when you read his description, there's a legal type of a sentence that makes him, that he's legally protected. If you do the exact same thing and your car lights on fire, that you cannot attack them. That should say enough. And it's not like the guy is lying. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that maybe in his situation, that is the result that he's getting with the products and dilution that he is using. But if you really literally copy it, you might get in trouble. And we are definitely going to see a couple of people die in the next couple of years with the amount of unsafe stuff that they are doing and that they are entitled to do. That's the power of free will that you have. But it's also the bad thing about our industry is that we are working with extremely dangerous, extremely nanotechnological chemicals, and we are treating it like it's just water and soap. PPEs are just throwing out as something that if you want to use PPEs, you can, but it's not necessary. It should say on the bottle if it's necessary or not, or it should stay in the SDS. But I'm rambling too much, man, because listen, I'm very scared of God. That's the whole situation. I'm very scared. I don't think my judgment day is going to look good. So I'm investing in my son to make sure that my son is doing everything right. And I'm not thinking I'm going to heaven. I might have a very, 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 very bad judgment day, but I just do damage control now. So I don't want to make it any worse. I'm not a saint. I did some bad things when I was younger. I don't do these bad things anymore. Trying to be a good person, try to be honest, try to be righteous, and try to give you the most accurate information that I can give you. And then hopefully you will have success in the same way that I have with these products and these product lines.
Yeah. Trying to be honest. For what it's worth, Colma, I'm sure this question was directed more at Reggie, but, and this is not taking a dig at anybody, any other brand, but it doesn't matter if it's this industry, another industry, different products, whatever. If someone's not answering questions, that kind of tells me what I need to know. If they're avoiding the question, they don't want to answer it for some reason. So do with that information what you will. It reminds me of like supplements. There's supplements that list all the ingredients, the exact quantities and everything, and then there's ones that have proprietary blends. Why are you not telling me what's in the proprietary blend? There's probably a reason for that. So that reason could be bad. It could be like we're ripping people off and we don't want to expose what we're putting in here. Or maybe it is that they just have some super top secret special something that they don't want anyone to know about. It's up to you to kind of take their answer as to like, why are you putting a proprietary blend in this, depending on their response, and make your decision based off of that. So
you're spot on about that one.
All right, let's see. Idrosave at 50-1 seems to degrade when put on the shelf. Mark, what temperatures are you storing it in? That would be my first question.
That's the first, but the second is, I can answer this as well, because I know this. I asked this to chemist the same. Chemist said to me, Reggie, if you have a polymer product, polymer-based, polymer protective, polymer surfactant, doesn't matter if polymers are in there. Polymers are what's called reactive. They change their behavior in temperatures fluctuations. So in freezing, in hot, and stuff like that. For the detergents, I asked the chemist the same. So if you have normal tap water and you store your detergents from Labocosmetica, Primus, Purifica, Semper, Omnia, Ductile, they will not go bad. All the dilutions will not go bad. They said it's basically forever. Maybe that is a little bit over exaggerated, but they will not go bad. But as soon as you use something with polymers inside, so a 50-1, yes, indeed, pre-mixed on the shelf over time might do something because it might react with something inside. The same goes for Derma. Derma is I use an off-label dilution of Derma. Derma is up to dilution up to 1-1. But I diluted 1-5, and at 1-5, it's not a stable dilution anymore. It's a one-time use that you have to use completely, but you cannot store it because it's not designed to do that. And 50-1 Preludio, containing those what you call the polymers, can have a reactivity with temperature, something inside, dirt particles, and then it can coagulate, or they can what do you call flocking, like these little shivers of stuff, is definitely possible. That's definitely possible. For the detergents, they will not go bad. But polymeric products and dilutions, yes. Depending on water, conditions, temperatures, they have the capability, or shifting is also a possibility. And then, that's basically it. But as I remember, that 50-1 is a very, very low dilution. So you're not going to lose that much if you throw every occasional bottle of 50-1 just back into the drain or back into the waste.
Well, I learned something new on every one of these live streams. That's interesting. I mean, it makes sense though.
Yeah, we had the same discussion with the chemist, saying the chemist said the question is always, do we need to use what's it called, demineralized water or osmotic water or that type of a water? And he said there's no reason to use that, except for when you maybe have a glass cleaner, when you want to guarantee streak-free result. He says, but the chemical needs to bind to something. If there's only H2O, the chemical is not probably something like this. The chemist explained to us, because these people, man, they speak a freaking lingo as a non-chemist to understand what they are saying. But he said if there's nothing in, no minerals type in the water, it is more difficult for the chemical to blend and mix and to attach to something to make them more productive and more effective.
That I won't go down this rabbit hole. It's for another live stream on PPF.
Yeah,
slip solutions and RO water and distilled water and all that. It's a whole thing. So
yeah, I can imagine.
All right. Have you guys considered a Semper that can be used in the foam cannon and in the bucket? So basically a Semper hybrid or whatever, which I've seen other brands obviously have this. And my assumption, because my employee actually asked me this the other day, our finance manager, he's a huge detailing nerd, but he said, why do they have it separate? And my assumption was, I said, don't quote me on this, but I'm guessing they separate it because if you make one that does both things, it probably doesn't do each thing excellently. It just does each one kind of average. And so they separated it to have, you know, one for the bucket and one for a pre-wash, but maybe that's not correct. I don't know.
No, it's I'm not sure if this is the theory, but it's the most logical explanation. You know, to make it 2-in-1, so Maniac has a version, neutral foam shampoo. It's a bucket and foam gun type of a shampoo. So one you can use in the bucket, one you can use in a foam gun. Nah, that is not I would say it's not that incredibly special because there are more of those. Independently, if you look at them, yes, the NEVE is a really good pH neutral snow foam that you can use every day that still has some decent cleaning power. But on the other hand, the Semper, the hyper dilution for the 1 to 1000 to still have some lubrification to make it do something what it needs to be doing, having something in the capability of lifting stuff up from the surface, create incredible lubrification. I said that twice. That's how much lubrication it makes. But this might be indeed a very good angle to see if it's now, we are now 5-6 years further, if it's possible that we can create something that can indeed do both. And the fact that he says, I foam Semper without issues, contrary to the recommendations. Now, that means, my friend, simply that you have found a way to use it effectively. But if I've listened very well to what is happening to all the people that tried it, they didn't have that success. So I commend you, and I give you compliments for finding a successful way to use it. If you are willing, then please share us your dilution that you use in the foam cannon, because now I'm curious to try it out myself to see if we can still make it happen in the way. But I cannot guarantee any cleaning power. So if it's that foaming on and washing at the same time, so using the foam as a contact wash, I guarantee, or I can say, okay, that is maybe something that can do it. But for cleaning power, even if you dilute Semper 1 to 100, there is not much cleaning power going to go on for sure. It simply misses those type of surfactants to do that, as I understand.
That makes sense. Mine's been about 50-50, meaning I've had like probably 50% of the people reach out and say, oh, I foam it, no problem. I've never tried it because I just have not wanted to deal with the repercussions if it doesn't go well. But then I've had some people say, oh, I didn't read the bottle, I accidentally foamed it, and it was a mess. So, all right, let's see. Phil Gravy, trading for pro coatings. I'm assuming you mean training. You're in Atlanta. Same thing as the other gentleman before. I put my email in the comments, nick@labocosmetica-us.com. Give me a shout and we will chat.
Let's see what's going on here.
I can answer this one. No, probably not. And I don't mean to be rude about the question, but I think it just goes against the philosophy of Labo, if I had to guess. So.
I know this guy very well. I know this guy for Varius, and he's a very good guy. He's a very good guy from Ireland. All the Irish are awesome. All the Irish are awesome. If you ever go anywhere, in any place, in any pub, cafe, bar, and you meet an Irish guy, it is going to be awesome. Awesome people to be around, awesome people to drink with, awesome people to dine with, awesome people to work with. Very friendly, always funny, making hilarious jokes. I had an amazing blast with those guys there in Ireland last time I was there. And I know for sure, probably he's going to say that, yeah, for sure, I know he's pulling our leg a little bit because we will never make something like that. Because he knows. But he is indeed, there is a possibility. It is, I don't know why, because it's a problem with me. It's just being the product developer. I get a product in my hands. I try it out. I test it as much as I can. I stress test it. I applied test it through all ranges. And I got a couple of formulations that literally blew my mind. Some of them will never be produced, but because they don't fit the market, because they were too difficult to apply. Now, there's also a group of people that like the difficult coatings because they give them the confidence that they're actually, something is really happening, that they are really doing something for the car. And there is a group of people that simply just want the best of the best, regardless of the application, because they just want to give the customer the absolute best that they can give them. But on the other hand, there's a very big group of people that just wants to have an easy installation, no hassle, no difficulties, no stress. And because that group is that big, it's really difficult to make a coating that fits and the ease of application and the absolute fantastic proportions of the coating itself. Chemical resistant, beading, sheeting, washing resistance. I'm not going to say it, but the scratch reduction possibilities, so scratch resistance, I'm not going to say, but the capabilities of not making those scratches faster or slower or whatever you want to call it, and I think we have a couple of formulations that have big potential, but they dropped. I can't show it here. No, I got it upstairs. It's on my nightstand. Why do you have a ceramic coating on your nightstand, Reggie? I just want to look at it every once in a while because it's a formulation that was one of my favorite formulations, and that I just want to look at the potential that we can make something, that is a single layer that might even last longer than something that we already have. But it's it's difficult.
It's surgery to put it on.
Yeah, it's Fabio made one. Fabio did one installation and he went away, and I 3 days later came into the factory and he said, you have to test that coating, and I was not able to destroy it. And I cried and I said, this is it, man. This is it. We've reached Valhalla. This is the absolute pinnacle of ceramic coatings we could produce. And then he says, yes, but you would not believe how many effort I did to do to put it on correctly. It's extremely difficult. And then I cried again. So I went from a eureka moment right into a micro depression in less than 2 minutes. So yay! Oh, because it was.
I think it seems to be that way. Again, not a chemist, but like everything, whether it's cleaning, chemicals for cleaning or maintaining, or like even like PPF, right? Like it's like you want all the properties. Obviously, you want it to be able to stretch really, really well. You want the glue to stick exactly when you need it to stick. You don't want the glue weak. You want it to not yellow quickly. You want it this, that. Same thing with coatings and with cleaning chemicals, but there's always trade-offs. So it's like you're finding that Goldilocks, and then every customer demographic is different. Like when it comes to chemicals, like some people just want I think you've used the analogy before, like the uranium, they just want to be able to like just hit it with a nuclear bomb and get it clean. They don't care about the repercussions of anything else. Well, that's obviously not going to be a Primus 2.0 user, so it's just, yeah.
There's always some compromise, and maybe it's a good thing, because if it were up to me, we would already have maybe 10 extra products inside of the line, that would have amazing capabilities and capabilities. But maybe it's a good thing that I'm not the name owner that decides what a product is eventually getting onto the market, because with every product, you also have the responsibility to stand behind the product, to do whatever is necessary to make that product successful. And maybe it's a good idea that I'm just the developer, and that I have a vote, but that my vote is not conclusive, and that Marco is still the guy making the final decision.
That's it, man. Well, I think you would make great decisions, but there is, Marco sounds like an exceptional visionary when it comes to the brand. Obviously, I mean,
I'm more an executor. I'm more like an executor. You give me a mission, I will execute the mission. And if you have some statements, more like a military kind of a guy. And Marco is really a visionary. Marco can make pathways. He can build roads that not existed before. He sees opportunities. There are products that have been launched last year that are, literally you can see that it is a brainchild. I would have never thought of something like that. At least not with the experience I have. Maybe in 30 years, I am capable of inventing or thinking of something like that. But right now, I'm just missing the creativity and the inventory, visionary type of a mindset to create these type of products.
Well, you guys make a great team along with everybody else involved. So that's what matters. All right. Differences between Ductile and the Varius.
Yeah, good question. So Ductile, APC of APCs, has the capability of doing everything that your APC can expect, interior, exterior. What makes it so great? Dilution ratios go from 1:3 to the engine bay to 1:50 for a pre-wash. Plastics, Alcantara, the only approved APC by Alcantara itself to clean Alcantara responsively. No caustic ingredients, still strong alkaline power. pH 11, pH 11, so still under the 12 range. Evaporation rate, fantastic. Can be foamed up to generate some foaming action. What else? Degreasing power. That's basically what Ductile does. And then
Safe
you have
for Alcantara. I don't know if you mentioned that.
Yeah, the only one by Alcantara, approved by Alcantara to clean Alcantara. And streak-free, no stickiness, no caustic ingredients. The APC for APCs for me. And then came Varius. And I saw it also in a comment. That's basically correct what he said. there is if there is alkaline stuff in there, it's not acidic, but there is some stuff that acidic products have also in there. Because if you have them both in there, then they break each other down, and there is something in the solvent range. So it's not solvent and the word, because solvent's a little bit harsh to say, but they're a reactive from the family of solvents. So what you see happening with Varius compared to Ductile, but compared to Ductile, it's lifting it, detaching it from the surface, making it rinsable, wipeable. And what Varius is doing is literally smelting it off the surface. So Varius is capable of doing glue-like substances, resin-like substances, where Ductile is not capable to do it because it's pure alkaline. I did a test last week. Stupid. This is always what happens when I do something amazing. I forget to film it. I had this huge bird dropping on my car. I sprayed 1 puff of Varius, took 3 seconds, it lifted it off, and I could see the entire bird drop moving with the Varius off the car. And I was like, what just happened here? Normal, I was just having fun, you know, screwing around. I was doing a little bit of testing. It was on my my stepbrother's car. He had this situation. I was testing the Leale on it, and it smelted it. It's the same what it did with extremely old grease. Varius doesn't have a danger label, doesn't have anything inside, caustic, stuff like that. It is so delicate, but it's capable of cleaning so incredibly strong at a level that I've never seen before. It's, to me, something is difficult to explain in science. You're moving to magic. You know, it's like, what is happening here? And that is what Varius is. Varius is that product that, if we figure out how to make that concentrated so that you can make dilutions of this, holy crap, it's over. It's game over. Then it's over. Why would you need another product? You have one product that can do almost all. You know, you really, Varius, Texia, Initio, all three ready to use in the line of Labocosmetica. They are all unique. They can do stuff that no other product can do. They are invented to do stuff that no other product can do. Ready to use, yes, but still expect professional grade results.
Texia is dangerous, man. Like 2pH completely changed my mind about using chemicals to clean carpets, to be completely honest, because prior to that, we relied pretty heavily on steam cleaning and extractors and all that stuff. And as soon as you showed me that on that old Mercedes we were working on when you came out to train me, I was like, wow. I actually sold the steamer to a buddy. But then I started using Texia, and I was like, literally the first thought I had when I used it in person, I was like, oh, this is going to be hard, because now people are going to ask me, well, which one do I need? Do I need 2pH of this? And I'm like, obviously I know what the answer is. If you're a professional, you want the 2pH, because then you can cover everything. But I'll tell you, man, Texia it's really good. Like I'm trying to think. I don't think we've come across anything that it hasn't removed yet where I've gone, okay, this doesn't work. Now I need to use 2pH. Now I'm sure that day is going to happen, but
for sure,
it's exceptional. I mean, and Varius and Ductile, kind of the same thing, where I'm like, the more I use Varius, I'm like, oh man, this is like, y'all are like almost threatening your own products because they're so good. It's like, they're really good. They're really good, man.
Especially with the Texia. So I made my neighbors have a convertible. I was thinking about, okay, so I said, can I get the car? It's been a year. The last time I touched and drove the car, I said, give me the car, let's see what I can do. So I did a little bit of IGEA. So I made some clips with IGEA. So I'm do next pre-recording here on StreamYard, probably not live, so I can focus on what I want to say. And I'll show you what I did with Texia and how simple it is to use Texia and how fast, simple, and easy it is to use Texia. It's not a system that replaces the 2pH, because 2pH you go into the full aspect, deep into the fabrics, and you do everything that you can to get it out what is inside. But sometimes it doesn't need that professional cleaning. It just needs that fast, quick, fresh up, just top fiber touching, a little bit of scrubbing, wipe down with microfiber, and finish. Dry, fantastic scent. Immediately have a professional grade result. Surface looks clean. It's still better than, of course, you still have to vacuum, of course, logically, but that was left, you know, then you see that speed. And then you use a little amount of product. Then the rest of the car, I did some Derma, that 1 to 5 dilution, a little bit of scrubbing, very gently. The leather was already damaged. Some Derma sealant. Whole operation took me less than 1 hour. Car looked fantastic. My neighbor said, oh my God, what'd you do to the car? Looked like you had it for a day. There's a little bit of difference with a little bit of chemical. So cost-wise, time-wise, effort-wise, but result-wise, oh my God.
That's a really good way to put it. It's like I can't say confidently it replaces either thing. Like Varius does not replace Ductile, just how Texia does not replace 2pH, but it's normally what I grab first now, and a lot of times it just takes care of it for me. But as a professional, I need to have that, backup that I know that no matter what, I'm going to be able to take care of the job. So, but I'd love to see that video of the fabric top.
I like this.
Sure.
I see one comment. Mark M 6818. Reggie, we met at a roadshow in the UK in Clean and Shiny a couple of months ago. That's probably true. It's difficult. That's why it's so difficult to understand who is who when people have these type of usernames. So I can't remember who is who. But the fact that he calls it roadshow, it's true. It looked like a roadshow. We had to do so much in one day. Half a day of Labocosmetica, half a day of Maniac, flying through the products. It was me, you have to be very careful not to make the showcasing look like a Telcel commercial where you're just doing amazing stuff in a very short period of time. But it was good. It was good. I hope to come back in October to Clean and Shiny, UK, to do it again. And then maybe do some extensive and some extra coating training for the guys that want to be approved detailers.
Nice. It's a good one. Will Labo ever make a paste wax?
Maybe I'm going to do something here. I might go to prison for this. Not so much prison in the rain. Not so much in the rain, Prince.
MAFRA prison.
MAFRA prison. What I'm going to do here is this. And you can take this from what you would like to do, whatever it's going to like to do. So I'm going to put this in front of the camera so you can see. It's not going to be identifiable to you what is going to happen, but you can see there are three little jars there. Three little jars that have been produced in Milan. We don't know what they are. We don't know what they do because I've never seen them. They have been, I got feedback from other guys that I don't even know that had these products and that have tested them. They were amazed and of course they were curious, but I said, I need comparison between what you already have and what you have been existing, what has been seen. And they said it's the best that we ever tested. Okay. But who's going to make it? Is it going to be a Labo paste wax? Is it going to be Maniac paste wax? Is it going to be MAFRA paste wax? I don't know. As soon as I know something, if they are still willing to tell me, because I'm disclosing so many company secrets that, that I'm not going to go to MAFRA jail and they don't tell me anything anymore just to keep the hypes going, because I am the guy that runs his mouth too fast and I state stuff. That's why I never make any promises about products being released anymore. Because when I say in November, the product will be released. And then from November, every dealer in the world is going to get questioned. Hey, Reggie said this. Hey, is it product there? So they will be answering more questions about when a product is coming instead of the questions about the product itself.
Well, it's been nice knowing you, man. If you stop responding to my text, I'll know that you've been locked in the cell there, threw the key away.
It's very probable. Very probable.
All right. So the brush for 2pH interiors, does it help the chemistry? It's a mechanical. It's a mechanical action, not really a chemical, but it does help the chemistry as a side effect.
Yeah. Let's you Bruce in the 2pH for interior. Can you explain what the quaternary brass filaments are, and they do help in the chemistry and the effectiveness and success? Okay, so what you read here, I think I'm going to say I think, I'm not sure because I'm not a marketing guy, but this reads like a absolute banger of a marketing word to describe a brush. And brass that brush, that it is something containing brass, so that the metal of the brush itself contains mostly brass. I definitely can concur. I would say that is definitely true. But when I rub it over my skin, it's not damaging my skin. And what the brain is behind this brush is that the bristles are sturdy enough. So when I put them on the surface and I make this flicking motion, that there is a lot of friction that can lift up that dust from the fiber. And because the bristles are very fine, their capability of lifting dust from the surface becomes extremely well. Of course, I tested it myself with the nylon brushes and the brushes that we have available, and you can considerably see an incredible difference compared to a nylon brush versus that brass brush. Now, like I said, it needs that flicking motion. So if you just like moving it back and forth like a broom or like a normal brush, you don't get that. You need that lifting motion. So a couple of flicks with your wrist is enough to get that sacrificial dust from the seat. It is the dry phase. It is the chemical use phase. So the more dust coming from this brush, or the more dust this brush is releasing, it's giving you an idea how much chemicals you are going to use. If you don't need, if the brush is not showing much dust, then you're not going to use much chemicals in the name of a glyco, or maybe even a Ductile. But if there's a lot of dust, then you know, okay, I got to hit it with glyco very well to make sure that everything inorganic is gone, and I don't get these white stains coming back after. But they are meant for dry. So they will reduce, and this is again typical Labocosmetica, because what brand designs a brush that's going to save you chemicals, that makes chemicals? We live from the sale of chemicals, and we invent a brush that's going to reduce you the amount of chemicals you're using during the operation. Typical Labo. But that proves again that we are doing this for the professionals and for the people to make sure that they have the best. Yeah.
Well, I wish more people would use it, because I see a lot of the drill brushes and I understand why people use those, but it's not, obviously, yes, you do end up using less chemicals because of the brush, which is incredible, but it's the effectiveness of it. Like, I've tried it without using the brush, because admittedly there was times where I was just lazy and it was my personal vehicle and I was like, I'll just do a vacuum and then do it. And I'm like, this is not working the same. So it's giving the 2 pH system the prepared surface that it needs to actually do its job correctly, so that you're like, wow, this is amazing, rather than just being disappointed or not. It's like people that spray the iron remover on the paint before the paint's clean. I'm like, look, you're not even giving the product a chance to work. It's not coming in contact with the iron contamination. It's sitting on a layer of dirt. So how do you expect it to work? So it's similar concept to me. It's a fantastic little brush. Let's see.
My 5-year-old coating is fading for flat areas, even after Primus and Purifica. What do you recommend as a topper to add some protection back? Perfecta SiO2. Perfecta SiO2, yeah. Perfecta SiO2 will definitely need to be applied every 2 washes or every 2 weeks, depending how many washes and how many miles are being driven. If you want to kick it up a notch, Beneficia wet coat, spray on, rinse off. And if you want to kick it up a notch even more, Revitax wash and coat shampoo. And if you want to kick it up even more, then you say, okay, I'll apply some Cupido. But if the base is Perfecta, Beneficia, Revitax, and Cupido. But if it's indeed finding out after, now this is, I'm going to elaborate a little bit more, because I like this, that he's saying, okay, I tried everything in the range of Purifica and Primus. That is good, because these chemicals also have limits, and coatings also have limits. So the fact that he's tried it, figured out, okay, there's nothing left to save. That means that I have now to accept, or I can assume to accept, that the coating is failing at these places. That means now it's time to put a topper on. Now the choice is going to be, which one? How long are you going to see the customer for? You're going to see it every 2 weeks? Are you going to wash the car every 2 weeks and see the car for yourself? Because then you can manage everything. Beneficia might even be an overkill. You will have enough about the Perfecta SiO2. You're going to see it a little bit less, or you're going to wash it a little bit less. Might give it a little bit more protection. So adding a little bit of Beneficia or a little bit of Revitax, or even a combination of those two. I apply Revitax first in the wash. A couple of weeks later, I apply Beneficia, and I switch this up, because those all share the same ground particle in the range of a polymer. Perfecta 2.0, Beneficia, Revitax, and Cupido, they share the same. So you can add them and combine them with each other without getting any issues, because they share this. They are from the same family, factually. Good question. Very good.
Very good.
Level of questions, like last time, level of question. I want to do this. I could do this every single week, because I get motivated from the level of questions we get asked. Seriously.
I learn a lot from you, and I also learn what people are concerned about or what their questions are. I mean, I love it. It's great. How often can it be used? Should it be reserved? The car's dirtier. This is, in my opinion, Reggie, this is like and we've talked about this before, but it's the most misunderstood part of it. Like, I think people, consumers and detailers both, are prone to, if a system exists, I want to use it all the whole system all the time.
Makes sense.
Usually the question is, how much can I use it? How often can I use it? How I want to do all of it, which is
Okay.
it's commendable, right? You're like, okay, you obviously want to be thorough. You're trying to take care of the work that you did and all that, but like,
Let me
there
get this
really
one.
is no direct answer. It's like you use it as much as you need to use it, depending on
What you do
you're
is, I think the best thing that you can do is to figure out if you need them or not.
yes.
If the car is not that dirty, it doesn't need Primus. It just needs a pre-wash, a contact wash, and then you rinse it. The beading is there. You don't need 3 pH. If the car becomes more dirty, it's moving outside of the range of NEVE, it's time for Primus. And then you can foam it, spray it, dwell it, rinse it, and wash it with the same product. After the pre-wash, you have to do a contact wash. Why? Because that traffic film is not capable of being removed by Primus. There is static dirt on the car that needs to be physically removed. So after your pre-wash, you do a contact wash, regardless of what kind of a lubricating, nanotechnology, I don't know, what kind of a shampoo you are using. So you do pre-wash, rinse, contact wash, rinse, and then you assess the situation. Do you see any failing or diminishing spots? If the situation is yes, then you use Purifica. So Purifica only becomes necessary when you see that it's necessary. Can you add it in the maintenance to prevent that the coating is going to fail? Yes, but then you will have to have a fixed interval of when you're going to wash the car. That means you will see it every 2 weeks and you will follow the same program. Primus pre-wash, Semper contact wash, or Primus pre-wash and then do Purifica as a bucket wash. Also possible. You do preventive preventive measures to make sure that the coating's not out. But this is not what happens in the real life. I know what happens in real life. You get this car, it's already diminished in hydrophobics. You get the car after 3 months, the customer didn't wash it himself. It's clogged up beyond recognition. So Primus, rinse off, contact wash, rinse off, and then assess the situation. And if you then see in the side of the car, behind the wheels, that the coating is failing over there, maximum dilution for Purifica, sprayer, 1 liter, 1 to 10, spray it onto the surface, let it dwell. You want to foam it on, let it dwell, and wash it while it's on the car. Repeat that operation twice maximally. Twice, 1 to 10. If there is no difference between twice, 1 to 10, and rinsing and washing and rinsing and washing, you can start assuming the coating is dead, because then there's nothing to save. Is there a possibility to move up, Reggie? There is, but I don't like to give advice about this one much because it's inergo. Inergo, I cannot substitute for all these products, all these coatings out there. There are coatings that cannot take Inergo. And I don't know which one they are, but I don't want you to destroy a coating. But Purifica is a safe option. Inergo, say Purifica is like an aspirin. You can get an aspirin from the supermarket. Inergo is like an antibiotic. You have to go to the doctor to get an antibiotic. They're not going to give you an antibiotic as a joke. They need to know if you need an antibiotic. So still Inergo, I got a video on my channel. You can watch it, all the ceramic, to remove water spot from a ceramic coating. I'm using Labocosmetica, yes, but you could take this video as an example. There's another video where I explain all the water spot solutions in Labocosmetica, except Preludio Acidic is not in there, but it will give you an idea how to approach this. But it only shows when you need it. So the pre-wash your car will always need. A contact wash will always need. Purifica is then to be assessed after that. Is it necessary? Because is my coating failing? Yes, then I need Purifica. Is it not failing after the pre-wash? Maybe you don't even have to do a contact wash. You know, I don't want you to keep using this system as a 1, 2, 3. I want you to keep using this system as the solution for the problem at hand. It's going to kill our sales, of course, because if I'm going to shove that system through your throat, you're going to buy those products all the time. But I don't want that. I just want you to get better and understanding what is happening with the coating. If the coating is alive, keep it alive. Stay it alive. If the coating is failing, put some toppers on it. Don't drown it in toppers. You don't know what you're dealing with anymore. Are you dealing with the topper or you're dealing with the coating?
Yeah.
You know,
it's why did you coat it? Well, I mean, you could still make the argument that there's value in coating it, but what you're saying is, I agree 100%. Yep.
I don't want to disclose something, but something is happening on the background privately. Somebody just came to the club of the Labocosmetica tattoo. So if you look over here, I got the Labocosmetica logo over here.
No way.
Yeah, that's one. Then I got Martin from Norway. That's 2. He has it in the size of his hand. So it's this size on his hand. And there is number 3 and 4 from Bulgaria that I know. And I see number 5 right now in the picture. And I don't want to disclose who it is. But most likely we
5 people have it tattooed on them?
Yeah. The number 5, I'm looking at number 5 right now because I'm verifying And I'm saying, he says to me, "Hey man, I just got this I'm just getting in my car." He is in a tattoo parlor. I can see that. I asked him, "Is this real?" He says, "Yep, I'm driving home at the moment." And I said, "Holy shit, man, welcome to the club." And he's probably going to disclose this himself very soon. So he had 5 people with the logo of Labocosmetica on their body.
Dude, I thought I was locked in. I thought I was locked in and dedicated, but clearly I am like, I don't have a single tattoo on my body, but I might, that might have to change. Holy cow.
This substitute the contract, my friend. So I got there's no doubt about it. You know, I cannot leave this company ever. You know, imagine me going to Chemical Guys or to Gion. It's going to be really difficult to explain.
Yeah.
You know, what's the tattoo for? Yeah, what's the tattoo for? What do you think?
You got the permanent contract. It's on your skin.
There we go. This is my last one. There's no more brands after this. That's for sure.
Lightly clean or wash their car.
Okay, I'm going to write this one for you, for the people. Let's discuss something. Customer who wants to lightly clean or wash their car. Someone who doesn't want to pull out the buckets and foam. What are we giving those customers? So there's no error, no streaking, hazy residues, etc. One discussion on ceramic coating vehicles, one on PPF vehicles. So I'm going to give you the PPF part. So Nick, shoot me the PPF part.
Well, PPF is way more forgiving. I always tell people, look, you know, you can do rinseless all the time. I'm very hard on my PPF on my truck and on my vehicles throughout the years. I have customers who are, and honestly, it still looks pretty good even years later. So you could just do rinseless. You could even go as far as saying just do waterless. You know, if all you want to do is lightly clean it, you could just do waterless even on a dirty vehicle. That being said, obviously that is not ideal for the plastic. It's not going to ever be as good for the plastic as doing an actual wash. So now for coatings, I highly advise against that because I think you are going to very quickly destroy the coating through friction. But yeah, I mean, you know, waterless is the easiest. It's the lightest. Rinseless is kind of one step up from that. And then a real wash is the most ideal state. So that's what I've always told people for PPF. But I have told them, you know, look, if it's things like bug guts, bird droppings, things like that, I'd rather see you use the less than ideal method to get that off of the PPF rather than just letting it sit and wait until you have an ideal time to actually do a real wash, because the pros of getting that off now is better than the cons of, you know, what's going to happen from using like a waterless. So PPF is just, it's so much more forgiving. It's just easier.
Yeah, and it's a good thing that you are now answering that question, because I'm still thinking if I want to lightly clean a coated car, what I would do it with. And the only thing I'm thinking of right now, no streaks, no hassle, no simple, no whatever, it's probably going to be Idrosave 1 to 50. Maybe even 1 to 100. That is lightly clean, and I can almost guarantee no streaking, no hazing if you just use it as a QD. And then Perfecta 2.0.
It better just be dusty.
Yeah,
I mean, right? Yeah.
we're going to assume that lightly clean is if he doesn't need to know, if he doesn't need to pull out the foam gun and the washing bucket, yeah, then probably is your best choice. Maybe even Perfecta 2.0, because that doesn't interfere with protection. It's not like Perfecta has enough protection inside to cover the ceramic coating, or it's going to link to the ceramic coating. I see also one comment before this question. GA Driven Dave asks, once you dilute the 2 bottles, how long can they be stored? I'm assuming he's talking about the Primus and Purifica. If not, any detergent from Labocosmetica you can store indefinitely, according to the chemist. Distilled water, I don't know. This is everything because we test everything with tap water, normal tap water, nothing special. So normal tap water, detergents from Labocosmetica do not go bad. Primus, Purifica, Omnia, Ductile, Glycol, all of them stay well in the diluted bottles. Stored in dry conditions at room temperature, or in the range from 5 degrees to 40 degrees Celsius, from 72 to 114, something like this. Fahrenheit, you cannot pull me. I don't know the Fahrenheit out of my head.
The only other thing I'll add to this too is, and this was something I would tell my customers that have coatings, if all you're doing is getting like that kind of here's the scenario, like you've washed your car on Friday or Saturday on the weekend, and it's Wednesday, and it's been nice out, it's not been raining, and you're just wanting to lightly clean it, I would advise just don't touch it until the weekend, and you can wash it again regularly. That's my thing, because I think it's a slippery slope, because obviously like doing the Idrosave at 1 to 50 or 1 to 100, obviously that's going to be convenient. You're going to be like, oh man, that was great. That was so much better than having to wash. But then now you've got this customer who's just repeatedly like wiping the car. And I mean, you're going to degrade things faster, but it's so circumstantial. Like if you're just talking dust, I think it's fine. But if you've actually driven it and it has that light film of kind of like road film on it, like I'm just not a fan. Unless it's PPF, of course, then I say, hey, look, send it. I mean, is it going to be best for the PPF long term? No, but I've seen people that pretty much only do rinseless on their PPF, and it's held up relatively well in like garage kept cars. So, yeah, that's my only thing on the lightly cleaning. It's a tricky one for coatings.
True. It's a difficult one, really difficult one. But if I want to say, okay, if it's just the waterless type, probably the only thing we have in waterless range is Idrosave 1 to 100, 1 to 50. I think 1 to 50 is already more like a QD, quick detailer, but 1 to 100 for sure is capable of doing, and that's been stated many times before. Amazing glass cleaner. The biggest Idrosave fan lives in Poland. He's from Lion's Garage. There's nothing else you can ever sell him other than Idrosave. It was almost impossible to prove any other product because, but Idrosave can do the same. Need to do it. No, I don't need to do it. Idrosave can do the same. It's like, it's just the biggest hardcore fan of Idrosave in the world so far from all my travels I've seen. Then we got, let me see.
I keep having to shift over because the sun is like slowly taking over my workspace here. I'm like, my MacBook's getting like scalding hot. I'm like, oh my God, it's going to catch on fire. Let's see here. When are you getting batteries for the EV212? It's not a Labo question, but I'll answer it very briefly. Yeah, roughly about 45. Roughly like 45 days is what I'm thinking. Shoot me a message and I will make sure that you are notified, or you can just go do the notify when back in stock. That is going to be the quickest way to find out.
Good one. Notify back in stock. We need he needs a Cox box. Vice Detail needs a Cox box. Yeah, well, Nick, maybe we got to think about something. Maybe we gotta make a Cox box, but it needs to be something special. It needs to be a good deal, a deal that has never been done before. That's one thing for sure, because I'm Dutch. A discount and stuff that is gratis. It's a Dutch word for free. I like that. Some promo stuff inside. We got to get some. We got to get T-shirts, we got to get stickers, we got to get labels, we got to get everything merchandising ready so people can just launch up and put Labocosmetica stuff on anything, and then jam that into Cox box. And then the Cox box is going to be something special. And we release another Cox box every season or something, and we do a short sale. Is not the right word because I like sales, but I don't want to do the sales because I don't want to. Ferrari doesn't give a discount. Gucci never gives a discount. Okay, we are Labo. Maybe we can give a little bit of discount.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Foam cannons are coming. I don't have an exact ETA, but they will be available through the Labo USA website, labocosmetica.store. As soon as they land in my possession, they will be put on the website. So
let me elaborate about this one a little bit. Nick is doing everything humanly possible to get the last amount of signature foam gun signature. I'm telling you, the signature. It is the one in the special box, the limited edition, a one-time production only. And we are getting, because there are not many left, we are getting everything that we can into the continent of the United States. They will be limited. I'm saying limited as in rare. They might be even so rare that you're not going to take them out of the box. But there's good news. There will be more Labocosmetica foam cannons. They will not come inside of a signature box simply because there are a limited amount that can fit on a pallet, And if we change the packaging, we can put 4 times more of these foam guns onto the pallet, making shipping cheaper, making the product cheaper. We are going to price them very, very sharply. It's not going to be a commercial grade type of product to pull your leg to say you have a foam gun, because at the end, it's a freaking fucking foam gun. People, it's some metal, some orifice. Discussions about which foam gun is the best. If there's foam shooting out and it's doing what it needs to do, it's doing it. And I know it's more of a trinket, and it's about the chemical. So we are doing everything. You would not believe what has been happening on the background, getting these foam guns into the United States. What Nick and me have already been doing, and other people also, and together with the guy and Korea and MAFRA, and how we are doing this. And it's been a hassle, but the people have spoken. So if anybody needs a compliment, it is the people themselves for their demands, because the writing, the messages, it was the actual push to get this foam gun there where it needs to go. And for sure, like I said, it's limited. It is freaking limited edition.
Oh yeah. I'm excited to get them in. All right. I'm gonna chime on this just because of years of running a service business. I cannot see this and just not give input. So keen to clean. You sound like a really sharp guy, like you got your head on straight. So
Ireland.
the only thing I would say is to those clients, I would say, has the shop down the road shown you the vehicle that's 8 years old with the coating on it that's still performing? And if that shop up the road can't answer that question, then it's a back-ended way of just saying like their marketing is full of it, So that's all I would do. I mean, I lose jobs throughout the years to people who were selling some outrageous claims, of course, but truth be told, those customers might be a pain because they have these crazy expectations. But the amount of jobs that I won by like educating people and being totally honest, far outweighed, the ones that I lost, in my opinion. So that would be my advice on that.
Yeah, but I hear him. I hear his frustration. I know the competitors are saying all these things, and if customers are listening to this, I hear you, man. I hear you. But I cannot give that. I cannot even think about giving that promise to a customer, knowing that it's not going to keep up. I know I'm speaking a little bit easily because I don't have the business anymore, or I'm not doing that kind of a business anymore. I'm more in the product development and production and stuff like that. But I hear you. I know the frustration. But in the end, honesty will stay above the water the longest, for sure. Because that customer that's going to get disappointed, that pays a shitload of money for an 8-year coating that's not going to survive too, is going to be so disappointed, and they are damaging the market so much because those customers are talking on the next birthday. Hey man, I got this coating on my car and it didn't even last for 2 years. They promised 8 years. They said scratch reduction, self-cleaning, insane gloss, blah, blah, blah. And this word on mouth gets around. And this is exactly how 15 or 18 years ago, the Teflon market crashed. Because back then there was this Teflon treatment that you paid $1,000 for with the promise that it can last 5 years, and it was dead in 6 months, but you had to come back every year to get a fresh layer. It was like the biggest scam in protective, and it literally destroyed that market. And now we have ceramics, and for sure something like this will happen too, and maybe a couple of big brands will keep their head above the water, or you will just move into the consumer market where nobody gives a shit anymore, and the professionals will start using something else. That is not for nothing that the PPF is rising so well, because it's undoubtedly an incredible protection for your car. It is irrevocably, it is true. You can see it, you can feel it, you can touch it. It has so much more benefits. It also has disadvantages, but you see that people get disappointed and then they are not willing to try it again. They are not willing to try another coating because that disappointment
it hurts everybody. It hurts everybody because a lot of here, in Charlotte, it's a really big market. I mean, there's a lot of new cars getting bought all the time. So for some of these people who are super busy, they might not I always think of it as like an elevator pitch. You've got like 2 minutes to explain to this person, this is what's going on with this marketing. This is what the whole industry is doing right now. and you got to educate them, because if they end up going to another shop and they do get these crazy claims and they have a bad experience, then they'll probably not get another coating again, even from a quality shop like this guy, Keen to Clean. You know, it's like, it does hurt everybody. It's unfortunate, but and the same thing's kind of happening with PPF right now too. Like the warranty wars are going on. You know, it's like, I think when I got into it, it was like 6 years. Then kind of everyone went to 10. Now there's some that are like 13. And it's like, I mean, really at the end of the day, man, like, you know, it's just like coatings. It's so circumstantial. Like, can the film last that long? Well, yeah, obviously, but is it being driven? How is it being driven? Where is it stored? What is the climate like? What's the maintenance regimen? You know, there's always things. So it's never ending with this nonsense, but all you can do is be honest and keep pushing forward. So
I gotta respond to this one. Hola Frank, ciao, il lupo di Labocosmetica. Sono il mio amico di Labocosmetica, Franco Lazzarotti. The man behind Omnia, he calls Omnia his son, il figlio di Frank, Omnia, because Franco has 3 daughters. And he's also one of the details behind the Glico project that I had absolutely nothing to do with, but I am still reaping the fruits of their labor by promoting it for the rest of the world. Franco Lazzarotti, one of our best ambassadors from Italy. There we go.
So he's the designer of Omnia.
He's the brain behind it. Yeah, that is his brainchild. His brainchild, basically. And Franco is all about interiors. He's an interior, yeah, you could say, pioneer. He's been doing it for so long. Every job he treats as a unique job to find another way to clean a interior in a different way, in a faster way, more efficient way. And then this led to his demand to say, okay, I need a certain type of a APC that can do this, and this in one product. And that became Omnia.
Well, thank you, because it is an amazing product. I love it personally, and it's very, very easy for me to sell to people because it works so well. So major props for that.
There we go. Can I use Varius as a cleaner for door jambs and interiors instead of using APCs? And I'm going to answer this with absolutely yes. When you want something that evaporates 100% streak-free, even if you leave the product itself, it will still disappear like snow for the sun. As the scent Varius it's so difficult to beat this one. It's going to be really difficult. Oh, Varius. Yeah, it's right now. It's my go-to for almost everything.
So it's good to know. Does not require any rinsing, even on like a hard surface like paint.
No, it's just spray, wipe, and then don't have to wipe and wipe. Just wipe it once. Agitate it with your scrub pad, agitate it with your brush, let it dwell for longer to get the smelting, degreasing type of effect. Glue-like substances, resin-like substances, they all seem to be disappearing with the magic of Varius. Fun fact, before Ductile was named Ductile, the original name for the APC back then was Varius. So we reused the Varius for this product. And I'm happy we did that, because this product is more like a Varius than the original Varius that we wanted to make like 8 years ago. Fantastic. 10 years ago. 10 years. Yeah.
MAFRA history.
Coma, good question. Why are there almost no videos on Revitax and Santino? How would you say the beats are with Revitax versus Beneficia? And 1 to 100 in the bucket, it really needed with Revitax since my car has nice beats. Very good question. The reason for Revitax and Santino is a shampoo designed for mad cars. It's very difficult to make a video about that. The product simply gives a little bit of UV protection that is unprovable in a video. It has some, what's the name again? I'm going to try to think of the name. It is to make the lime smaller. This is a very expensive name. I'm stupid that I cannot think of it right now. But it is, it makes the lime smaller. So it doesn't dissolve the lime scale inside of the water. It makes it smaller. Therefore, it's easily rinsed off and doesn't make any streaking or spotting. That's basically what the Santino does. It's a matte shampoo that you would substitute with Semper. And it gives somewhat of a protection, but it's so slow in sheeting that I'm not even going to call it protection, because it's not comparable with anything in the market right now. The Revitax, that there's no video about that, or that these videos are very old. I think 2 years ago I made another video, but maybe it's good to make a revision. And I will give you my most successful dilutions and my most successful way how to use this product. because I had a hate and love relationship with this product. Somehow I could not make it to turn on all the time. Why or how, I don't know. I figured out some stuff. So I was a little bit of a lazy guy using a lot of chemicals in the same bucket. You can get cross-contamination with nanotechnological products that have nano stuff inside, and the surfactants from the previous shampoo are still in the bucket. They mix each other with the shampoo, and they give a very bad result. And you think, oh, the product is bad, but there are so many factors with nano that needs to be taken in effect. So after that, I started cleaning my bottles more, my buckets more, to understand, okay, that these variables are leaving closed. It's not my washing material that's degrading the surface. It's the actual product that's now doing what it needs to be doing. And indeed, 1 to 100 in a bucket is literally overkill, because if you make 10 liters or 2.2 gallons, you use 3.4 ounces or 100 milliliters of product. That is 20% of the entire bottle. And you throw away almost everything. So I use a hand foamer. I make a 1 to 100 dilution in the hand foamer. Yes, 1 to 100. So 1 bottle cap in 1 liter, or 1 bottle cap in 32 ounces of water. I put it in a hand foamer. I shake it. I spray the panel. I wash it. I rinse it. And then you will have eventually the same beads as Beneficia. Beneficia is immediate. Revitax takes about 8 hours to get to its full potential, but you get a longer duration. And a 1 to 100, I make 50 foam cannons, 50 hand foamers full of Revitax 1 to 100 with 1 bottle of Revitax. And I can do a lot of cars with that. It's going to prevent streaking. I'm going to make a demo video about this. I promise to do this summer, that you'll have a good video of a comparison how you can use this product successfully. And I will also show what you can do when it goes wrong, when you're a little bit overexcited with dilution ratios. I will show you a example that you have already used, because you have already used a foam gun dilution successfully with Revitax. Is that true?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, Nick, I'm sorry. I'm asking you.
I have, yes. Eventually, it did start to spot, but that's also because of the washing conditions in our shop. So it's too hot, like we can't. If I could wash inside, I'm confident that with the foam cannon, it would be fine. Like, it wouldn't be a problem, but it's literally the side of the vehicle that faces the sun where I have the issues.
Yeah, it's if you're working with these products are not designed, and it's also been stated that you can substitute Revitax in your 3pH as a bucket wash. That's true. But 1 to 100 is very uneconomical. It's very difficult for me to spend that much product, and I don't like to use it in combination with dirt. So I rather use it on a clean car, or a car that is almost clean. So a little bit of the dirt left behind is not a problem, because I'll wipe it away. But I like that spraying it on with the hand foamer. It gives a very thin blanket of foam. It doesn't need any working time. It just needs a touch. And a touch of a microfiber, a sponge. It doesn't matter what kind of a touch. But if you touch it, it links. You rinse it, you're done. You can probably do half a car. Do the flat surfaces first. Do the side, the front, the back, and the other side. And then you'll have the operation done. You can repeat it, but don't over-exaggerate and let the product work out for about 8 hours to judge if the actual beads are enough. But it beats, if the car's nice decontaminated, it beats really nice.
That's good to know. I'm going to try that. I'm going to try that out and see.
Yeah, dealers don't like that very much, because that is a very economical dilution, 1 to 100.
I'm all for it, man.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, so it is what it is, man. It's okay. We can use this, but it works successfully like this. Let me see. Situation. If you have STC and Blindo with HPC Pro, after 12 or 24 months, the car has light marring. Can you lightly polish and reapply HPC Pro, or is the full ceramic removal and reapplication? Good question. For sure, Blindo is polishable, very strongly polishable, even with the medium pad and Leale. It will still be there. STC, I would gradually take a very small step, like Yellow Fiero, because it's not that thick compared. They are all not thick, as in there's not an inch of coating on the car, but compared to thickness, Blindo is a lot thicker. That's what on the surface, and compared to STC. So you will have to touch that up a little bit lighter than with a compared to STC. STC light polishing. With Blindo, you have a little bit more capability, a little bit more aggressive polishing. And then reapply, and then immediately reapply, of course, your top coat. or your spray sealant, or your whatever is necessary to get that car back to the beating it needs to be to have that fantastic self-cleaning effect. No, I did not say that. It's not self-cleaning. What is? Oh my god, this is a very good question. I'm gonna ask this again. It's let me see. I just use Idrosave straight, like it's a 3-year coating, and I saw something like, can you make what is Idrosave? Oh yeah, what dilution do I use for Idrosave to make a ceramic sealant? So we have been playing around with this. I think you can ask Corey. Corey, I think I did it. Corey Plastina, you can ask him. He did something like this, and then me and Andreas during a video session where we were shooting videos, we tried to make it touchless, but we figured out it didn't do anything. So we tried to make it like we went to 1 to 10, 1 to 20, 1 to 30, 1 to 40, and tried to make a wet coat with the Idrosave, but it didn't do what it needed to do. There was some improvement. Yes, I will admit there was some improvement, but it was not big enough to say, okay, you can use it like this.
Yeah,
I would go on my face if I say something like that, for sure.
All right, Maniac Waterless. Good as a detailer and drying aid diluted at 1 to 10.
Paul, yes. I see another comment from a friend of mine, buddy from childhood, Paul Osting. Love that guy. It's funny because we are doing three locations: your channel, my channel, Facebook. So I see Facebook comments pop up as well. It's a good one. Let me see. STC. What do we do more? Garage kept Saturday shows compared to grind spray on car.
Yeah, that's Brad Rhodes. That was the question earlier about the light washing.
Yeah. The Maniac like a Waterless, good to use as a detailer, drying aid, dilution, and one to end. No. The Waterless is really a cleaner. It's retardedly good. I wish I had Maniac Waterless in Labocosmetica.
Yeah,
I really wish we had that because that is really, really a really good product. I mean, that cleaning power from that product and that safety in direct sunlight, all the benchmarks went on their face when we were doing this product. And I used a lot of them. And literally what it did was, Maniac Waterless is really, really good.
I agree. That and Perfecta 2.0, both of them impressed me in terms of their ability to be used in direct sunlight. The Maniac Waterless and Perfecta 2.0.
Yeah.
It's hard to find products that you can do that with.
Yeah, but it's good. I don't trust companies that tell me there's a foam on rinse off sealant won't ruin my precious 70-30 Korean microfiber towels. That's absolutely freaking true.
You're probably not. I mean, honestly, that's probably. I feel like that's probably smart. There's no way there's not a film, right? Like a residue left behind.
Yeah. I've heard so many good comparisons. So microfiber washes is also a different department. There's a reason we don't have one yet, because you need to make something that nobody else has or have capabilities that nobody else has. But if he's right, I mean, every time you use a protective product, it needs to go somewhere. You're spraying it on the surface, you're rubbing it off, wiping it off. It's going into the towel. These products are extremely chemically resistant, and I've got these tips many times before, and they are pretty successful with some of the microfiber washes that immediately after use, you spray the suggested dilution of the microfiber wash in a dilution of 1 to 10 directly onto the towel as a pre-soak. Then you throw them in a washing machine, add the microfiber wash as directed for the washing machine, and then wash the cycle. And then there's a high chance that you will still have the original absorbing power from the microfiber towel. But he is freaking right that is degrading the absorption power, because these products are so chemically resistant. And if they were not, so if your microfiber is not, is being washed out really easily, then it's not a very good sealant, So either way, something's got to give. Something's got to give.
I mean, if I had towels that I really valued, like the exterior Ideale towels, or like a Labocosmetica drying towel, or any like these Korean 70-30 blends, like I probably wouldn't want to do that either.
No.
For the long-term health of the towel. I did have one question that was emailed in, which I'll drop the email here in the chat in a second for anybody that has questions that don't get answered, you can always email us and we'll get around to them. So it's a long message, but basically he mentioned that during one of the earlier podcasts, you mentioned some MAFRA soaps that people can buy in bulk to save a lot of money. I think the specific conversation he's referring to is when you were talking about that product that you can use on like the outside and the inside. Like you're talking about like for like pure economics, if you wanted to save money, if that was the main goal. Which product is that from the MAFRA lineup?
That's the one.
I think I'm remembering
You say
correctly.
inside and out? Inside and out?
Yeah, you were like it's a cleaner that can be used for basically everything, and it's a soap. Maybe it could be used as a soap, I guess. But my memory could be.
It's very good. That sounds literally something that I would say, and it's very true. And I'm thinking about which one it is, because if there's ever a range of products that's going to be difficult to memorize by your head, it's the line of MAFRA.
Oh yeah, it's a huge catalog.
Yeah, and
it's a cool catalog though. I love looking through it.
Yeah,
I've got a bottle of split in my car that I traveled with me to the mountains with because I've just been like playing with it on everything. It's a cool product.
For sure. Yeah, but there are a lot of them. I'm going to think about this one, and I might have to come back to this in another podcast or another live stream. For sure. But a very good question. Thanks for sending in the email, making the effort of sending in the email. It's becoming less and less, but thank you for that effort and getting us informed about this, because sooner or later, MAFRA is going to enter the United States, and it's going to touch up, and I can't wait until that day is going to come. You know, there is so much to show from that brand. That in bulk,
crazy.
If you're talking about 50-pound jerry cans of pre-wash with dilution ratios of 1:50, and you wash 1,500 cars with one jerry can, it's going to cost you $130. I mean, if there's anybody in the mobile detailing industry listening right now, when MAFRA drops in the United States, get ready for a flood.
Oh yeah, we've got. I don't know the number of products off the top of my head. We probably have somewhere 20 to 30, but I mean, God, the catalog is massive. Like anytime I go on the website, I end up spending like 30 minutes or more just reading through all the different stuff. It's some really cool products in that range. Let's see.
Peter Paul, good night, my friend. Sorry, I'm going to interrupt you, man. Peter Paul, thanks for watching. Always a pleasure. Hope to see you soon and do some awesome detailing. We did a Jaguar XJ 220 with the Gembala edition. Supercar from the 90s, the F50 era, the Diablo era, and the Jaguar. Fantastic, amazing car. He invited me. I took some pleasure in polishing that car for a little bit, just to scrap it off my bucket list. And good night, Peter Paul, and talk to you soon.
Oh man, those are sick. Those are sick cars. That's like I was born in 1990, so I remember growing up seeing pictures of those cars.
Oh, good question. Hey, this is one good one. How does the Maniac line Descale foam shampoo compare to the Labocosmetica Purifica? Is it weaker or stronger, less safe on exterior materials? Very good question. So Purifica, for sure, to do what it needs to be doing is declog or unclog the ceramic coatings. So it is definitely stronger. But the benefit from Maniac Descale foam shampoo is that there is more detergent power inside. So if you will put them next to each other on a pre-wash, it will probably be Descale foam shampoo that wins, because it has the capability of taking also some of the dirt off. But if you put it down into unclogging and removing the scale, then Purifica is stronger. So think about Purifica being for the professionals, the absolute highest grade of what is possible in unclogging ceramic coatings. And then think about Maniac for the problems that people have, like the prosumers, the weekend warriors, the people that demand a little bit more from I would say, consumer grade product. And Descale foam shampoo is absolutely fantastic. Some good detergent power, good descaling power, capabilities. It's not you will find them out in the dilution ratios already. You know how far you can go with Purifica versus how far you can go with Descale foam shampoo. But price wise, you will also find a difference. You know, because there are two acidic products in the Maniac line. One is stated openly, Descale foam shampoo. Descale automatically means it has to be acidic. The other one is black and wrap shampoo. And we call that black and wrap shampoo because in that era, when that product was launched, the word acidic was still a frightening word. Same as that we had to reintroduce alkaline again. Everybody was using the word citrus. Now we are using alkaline openly again, high alkaline this, pH 12, 11, it doesn't matter. But the Black and Wrap shampoo is actually Purifica Light. So if you were looking for a descaling shampoo that you want to put in a bucket, I'm going to recommend Black and Wrap shampoo. But if you need to do it with a foam cannon, I'm going to say Descale foam shampoo, because their price compared to the size of their bucket bottles, you will find out that one is better for the bucket or more economical, and the other one is better for the foam cannon.
Okay. God, that's so interesting about Descale. My mind's already running because I have customers that I know of that would probably be a better fit for them than Purifica.
Yeah, because okay, it's not, of course, you compare to foam gun pre-wash and Maniac. That is a really, I mean, and the safety, of course, I agree. Safety, you know, VDA certified. But you can imagine that we're not going to put something extremely caustic in the same line. It would bypass our philosophy that you can damage something by misusing it and going to the extremes, of course. But if you use Descale foam shampoo, I used it in direct sunlight in the Clean and Shiny, the demo days. No problems whatsoever. We let it dwell for long. I'm in a 50-50. So I left side Descale foam, right side foam gun pre-wash, just to show the people that it has capabilities of cleaning compared to an alkaline one. But you could see water sheeting better on a Descale foam shampoo side after rinsing compared to the foam gun pre-wash. So it has a touchless descaling power compared to where Purifica might be even need to be touched more. So, but their formulations are completely different. That's also why that makes them two completely different products, for sure.
Yeah, I remember you mentioned that in the past about foam gun pre-wash. It's this education is awesome, man, because it clears up a lot of the confusion, which, you know, people think it's just the same thing, but basically with a different label and less concentrated or whatever, which, you know, is not the case. They actually really, even in a professional setting, they actually serve different slots to me. Like just knowing that about Descale now and knowing what I know about foam gun versus Primus, as a professional, I might grab one versus the other depending on the situation that I'm dealing with. So
Corey, could you Corey, is something new? Can you tell the people if there's something new? Is there something special that you want to share with us here in the chat? Corey Plastina, you want to share something in the chat right now? Corey, give you an opportunity to share something. Tell me, is there something new happening in your life? Because I can't live with secrets, man. Put it freaking out there. Tell me. Tell the people. What did you do? What did you do? And then we immediately move to the next question. And I see the last one. Is that the last comment? Yes. Is it an overkill to use Veritas diluted at 1 to 5 after decon wash, but before applying a sealant? Overkill? No. If you want a guarantee, or a guarantee is maybe a strong word, but if you want a confirmation that you have done everything to prepare the surface for the application of your spray sealant, an extra round of Veritas 1 to 5 will definitely remove any surfactants that are left from the wash. That will remove anything greasy that is still on the surface that the wash did not. There we go.
Holy shit.
I wanted them to say that. Sorry, I'm still answering the question. But if you want to prepare that sealant and you want to do everything that you can in an arsenal of chemicals, that solvent that you are rubbing the surface with is definitely going to make sure that you have done everything that you can chemically to make sure that that sealant after applying is going to last the longest. For sure. Is it overkill? No. Is it necessary? I'm also going to say no. But is it beneficial? Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not for waste. That's for sure.
And there we go. I have
Corey,
the Labo tattoo. Put it
Corey,
up there.
where is it? Where is it?
I know where it is. Can I show this? Maybe I can. Maybe I do this. Maybe. Can I show it, Corey? Just give me a yes, and I'll share my screen. I just need a yes, Corey. I'm not going to do this by myself. I'm not going to put your face in there. I'll take the second picture you sent me. Just give me a yes, please. There we go. Go yes. There we go. We have to ask for permission. There we go for Facebook. There we go. I think you can see it in the bottom, Nick. Maybe you can pop it up there. Here on the right, you see on his left shoulder there is a, I don't know how much inch. I got also he has also measurement.
Nice.
It is a little less than 3 and almost 3 inch. So that is a serious tattoo. That doesn't count as a postal stamp anymore. But he's number 5 in the world, ladies and gentlemen. Number 5. Welcome to the club. Labo for life.
Wow.
This is how we. This is absolutely freaking insane. Yeah.
Golf clap right there. That's sick, dude.
Oh
sick.
my god. Oh my god.
That's awesome.
So, yeah. There we go.
That was awesome.
I just had to ask permission, Corey, man. This is you sent to me in private. You know, everything we talk about is not to be disclosed. Of course, when that I just got confirmation from our special someone that your ultimate Cox box, the one and only, the only Cox box ever to be sent in this way, because I had to get a second mortgage to get the freaking box overseas to the United States. Oh my god, that's why this is a one-time only. But you're absolutely worth it. All the work you've done, all the work you're still doing, it doesn't put any money to it. So I'm happy to pay for something special as this. And yeah, this as soon as the box is there, of course I am curious what's inside the box as well. You know, we had to make some selection of what is going to be inside, because yeah, there was a limitation of room. But I will at least make sure that our good friend Lloyd from MAFRA Korea did everything he can to jam that box up to the rim to make sure that everything is in there to satisfy your Labocosmetica addiction.
Yeah, Corey, that our email software like categorizes things, you know, VIP customer based on their engagement or whatever. There's got to be like I'm gonna make a tier that goes above all of them. It's like the Corey tier.
Yeah,
it's, you know, if you get it tattooed, you're getting notified before anybody of anything, and that's dedication, dude. That is sick. That is so.
We're gonna do a live stream, Corey, for that video unboxing. As soon as you got it, we're gonna put up the live. We're gonna put you in front of the camera. You can show the world the Cox box and what's inside and what is available on the other side of the world. And then we're gonna get the people going, because it is also thanks to the people that the foam gun is gonna come. It's not because of me; it's because of the people. The people spoke, and now we are going to get that foam gun. And and this is just the beginning. So if that foam gun lands well, who knows what the F we can do? You know, think about the most crazy stuff imaginable for Labocosmetica. You're talking about Labocosmetica toothbrush. You're talking about Labocosmetica watch. You're talking about Labocosmetica slippers. I mean, anything is possible. We need the power of the people.
I'm working on getting apparel because I'm very particular about like these hats that I got made for parks. Like, I mean, I went through so many different brands and whatnot before I found ones that I like, because I can't stand stuff that doesn't fit well or that doesn't hold up well and last well. And like, obviously if it has Labo on it, it needs to be like the best thing we can get. So we're working on that. So yeah, Corey or anybody else listening, like any requests or ideas that you guys have for merch, please let us know, and I will get my team cranking on it as quickly as possible.
This is great, man. I think this wraps it up, man. We're almost close at 2 hours. Ran through an amazing amount of questions again. Thanks everybody, because this input is the drive. The drive what makes me happy. I wish I could do this all the freaking time. Don't travel anymore. Just spend behind the laptop doing live streams with you guys. Talk about the products. Talk about your tribes and tribulations, and anything that you are going through to make your life easier and more satisfactory.
That's it, man. I'm with you, man. This is the part of the job I enjoy the most, which is
for sure
getting to learn and also help people, and that's what it's all about, man. So
yeah,
we will continue doing these as often as we possibly can.
Yeah. So yeah, once again, everybody, thanks so much for this one. Aerosol shoe coating, good one. That's one. Yeah, or a spit and shine coating. Fucking hell, we can do all the day. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh, that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for watching. Nick, again, thanks for being here. See you guys on the next one. You see in the comment, you will find the email address for all your requests and anything that you would like to go at the podcast at parks.carcare.com. parks@parkscarcare.com. Reggie, calm the fuck down. I know it's been 2 hours. You know, it's relax. You know, and now I have to wind myself down because it's 11:30 p.m. I was tired when I started this, and I'm hyped as a motherfucker right now. It's gonna take some time before I fall asleep. But
that's it. You've got passion for it, man. That's clear. So
Same here. You too, man. You too, man. We make a killer of a team. This is fantastic. Marco. Ciao, Marco. Grazie mille. Ci vediamo a dopo. And enjoy. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much. This is Reggy Cox signing out. Nick Parks, thank you so much.
Thank you, Reggie. We'll see you guys later.
Ciao.
See ya.
Ciao, ragazzi. Ciao.